Hi, my name is Maria Jose de Anda, and I will do my reflection of this project. So, the cultural expression piece that I choose was a poster during the World War II, made by the United States, and in here you can see the poster. It's a woman in here showing the strength, and it says we can do it. Basically, in that time, the soldiers were men, were the ones that fight, and the women were the ones that work. And this poster expressed freedom, the right to work. My personal belief of the human rights is that our benefits that people have for the simple fact that we're human. We're born with them, and we die with them, and nobody can basically take it away from us. And I acquired this definition because I have studied and I have practiced and I have made like a lot of research about this topic in the high school during the first partial in this semester. When I interviewed my mom and my dad, they told me similar definitions for human rights. My dad told me that human rights are inalienable rights where the person is born with them and it dies with them, and nobody can take them away from us, and this allows us to live a pleasant life. I really liked when he told me that it was a pleasant life, because it's true, the right of having a home, the right of having work. My mom told me something similar. She said that the human rights were universal and that everyone had the chance of these rights, but the sad is that nobody really actually knows what are those rights. She told me also that they are indivisible and inalienable and universal also, I already said it. And in the community I interviewed some friends, and one friend told me, she's name is Abigail, and she's with the teacher Recordon, and she said that she considers the human right as norms that the government should follow to protect their citizens. She mentioned this example. She said, when someone violates a person, he or she is committing a crime. But if the victim goes and reclaims to the government and the government really doesn't cooperate with them, they are violating your right. And she acquired that definition because, as I said, she has practiced and studied that in her class of history. I also interviewed my friend Maripati or Maria Patricia of our classroom, and we had very similar definitions, and she also established that human rights were basically rights that norms or laws that people have when they were born, and they allow us to have a very good and cool life. Now, so all these definitions that I said, they are different. They are similar, and actually I agree with them, because I really think that the rights are inalienable, universal, and indivisible. In my short film that I made with my team, which was the Hindenburg disaster, we reflected the freedom of speech, in which scenes were in the first one and some little scenes. In the first scene you can see that there's an interview between Miss Dunkel, which is the main character, and Miss Willman, which is the interviewer or the reporter of a newspaper. And they're having like this little interview where Miss Dunkel is telling her opinion or her point of view of the accident of Hindenburg. As you know, there are several theories, and there are basically no, like a certain theory that proves the Hindenburg disaster. So basically she's telling her opinion, nobody's telling what to say, so that's freedom of speech. Also, in some parts of the movie, Mr. Dunkel is telling his wife that the German service is the best, but we have to consider that in that Zeppelin there were also Americans. So if someone tells that the German is better than Americans, well, I mean, that's their opinion. Going to the next question, I consider essential for understanding the current status of human rights is the World War II. These events actually, at first, it doesn't sound that it helped the human rights, because Germany, as we all know, made a terrible genocide and killed many Jewish, and that's not actually helping the human rights. But the conclusion of this devastating event, so the ending, lead to the creation of the United Nations. And this organization, I really like it because all the resolutions, or basically their solutions, are based on the human rights, and they also have helped many people that have lost their homes in natural disasters, and they basically are rehearsing the right of a home. Also, for countries that really doesn't have health centers, they provide health, and basically their work throughout the years have evolved and have helped millions of people. So I think that thanks to the World War II, we have the human rights we are rehearsing right today in the present. And lastly, in which ways my knowledge of world history have helped better understand my world today? Basically, it has helped me to understand how the world is going on. Actually, thanks to all the study I have made of the history, I can actually now predict what will happen if this person do this, or what will happen if they send missiles to here, and basically, in other words, making predictions based on past events that it was going on in the world. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video.